Hi, my name's Russ Hans, and I'm putting together a little video of my workflow for photography with high school hockey. So here is a game I was shooting the other day, finishing up the first period. I pulled back to show how I lock my photos in my camera as I'm shooting. That way, at the end of the period right here, I can take out my card and put it in the laptop and just ingest those files that I have locked. A lot of this video is just going to be watching what I do, and I'm definitely not a professional videographer. I just got new meta glasses, so I'm working on that. This is Photo Mechanic, and I'm now ingesting my photos from the first period of the hockey game. There's probably about 100 photos that I ingest after each period. Once that's done, then I can start going through the photos and marking the ones that I want to keep. I use the number 1, which gives it a purple tag at the bottom. A lot of this is pretty boring to watch as I go through my photos. I tried to cut out some of the time frame to not make it quite as boring. There, now that I've marked my photos that I want to keep, I sort everything by color. So I have my keepers at the top. And now it's time to crop. For high school, I usually crop at about 5:7. And now I go through these photos and enter my crops. For high school and college, I take a variety of pictures, not just the action, but the cheer team, sometimes some in the crowd. I think the first period of this game, I had about 47 keepers, if I remember right. For high school games, it's all about the views on social media. So now I've gone through and cropped my keepers, and now I'm going to save those to a smaller size and at the crop that I designated. Once the crop is finished, then I go to another program that I run a action on all the photos in bulk. It's kind of an HDR type look, but very minimal. I run this at 1%. If you get more than that, it overdoes the HDR effect and they don't look good. So now this program will run through those 47 photos and apply my action onto them. While that's doing that, I go back to shooting the second period. and the photos are done. So now I double check, make sure they all look okay. And then I go to my website and I upload those 47 photos to my website while I'm still shooting the second period. I add the watermark for my sponsor. Everything else is already set up on my website so that when people download them, the watermark will be on there and the size is designated. Now the second period is ending, so I'm grabbing my card again. I forgot to switch cards after the first, so that's why backup cards are nice, because it shot onto my second card. Now I'm going to go through the same process again. I'm going to ingest my tagged or locked photos from the second period into a folder for that period. Photos are ingested. Now it's time to look through those 100+ photos and pick out my keepers. Once that's done, again, I sort by color. Then I go back up and add my crops and make sure that I crop and straighten. Like I said, some of this can get boring and tedious. I tried to cut out some of the cropping. As I get better with the video, I'll be able to shorten some of these videos. You can see that I'm cropping for impact. So I'm zooming into the action and cropping to that without a lot of wasted space or unnecessary items in the photos. Now I'm saving those cropped images. For college hockey games where I'm submitting to the school, this is my last step. Once the photos are saved like this, they're uploaded directly to the school. For high school, where I'm shooting for sponsors, that's where I add my signature action to the photos to give them a little bit more pop before they go on to social media. Again, this is the program that's running the action on my photos to make them pop. That's done. And now it's time to upload the second period photos to my website. People that follow me know that during the game, they generally can go onto my website and see the photos during the game. So now those photos are uploading to the website, and I'm ready to go back to start shooting the third period. As I mentioned, I shoot for sponsors. So I obtain sponsors to cover my attendance at the games, just like a radio station or a TV station would do. And I shoot the games and promote the sponsors. And then the kids and their families and the public get free social media downloads. They're about 900 pixels on the long side, but they can download those for free on the website, or they can buy larger clean digitals or prints as well. But most of them just download the free files. And now the game is over. Lock a few of the celebration photos. And we go through the same process again. After the game, there's a little bit more work involved. I save the score for later. Photos are ingested. For high school hockey, my process after I get the third period photos uploaded to the web gallery, I then watermark everything with the sponsor's logo and my logo and save those for social media size. So they're about 2048 pixels on the long side. And then I go through and pick out approximately 50 photos to do a post on Facebook. That post lets everyone know the link where the photos are on my website, as well as gets viewed and shared by tens of thousands of people on each post, which benefits the sponsors. Again, cropping for impact, get some action, as well as mix it up with some of the individuals. As you can see, I work to try to get the exposure and everything correct in camera so that I don't have to do much adjusting. Once in a great while, I do get a photo that's too dark or too bright, and I'll go back in and fix that. Again, there's our photos are cropped now. Run our action on these photos. That's done. So now we're going to upload the third period photos to the web gallery. Now, while those photos are uploading, I go to another program called Virtual Watermark, and I drag all my photos into that program. And then I have my watermark with All True on the right and Russell Hans Photography on the left. I designate that I want these saved at 20 by 2048 on the long side. And all my watermarked photos will come out at that size. So they're optimal for Facebook, Instagram, etc. Now we go to the web gallery, preview the web gallery, everything's there. We're going to copy the link, copy that link so that I can add it to my post on social media to tell people where they can go to download their photos. At this point, I have 120 or 130 photos, so I need to narrow that down to around 50. A little mix of everything to generate eyes on the post. I then add those to a gallery on Facebook, telling the score, giving the sponsor a shout out, and publishing it. And that's my workflow for high school hockey. Thank you.